Is there a draft around here, or is it just me? I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlogger who always tells it like it is. For the record, the rankings now are based on who ended up where during the draft. If any wrestlers or teams didn't get drafted, they'll be in the rankings based on where they were before the draft began. On the subject of the 2019 WWE Draft, at least a pathetic wild card rule has been eliminated. Everyone on Raw only fights on Raw, and everyone on SmackDown only fights on SmackDown. Despite the warnings, all the champs stayed on the brand they were on to begin with. And regardless of what they may have said, I seriously, severely doubt that USA and Fox had anything to do with the picks. And by the way, I know that USA is owned by NBC Universal, but could they seriously not get USA stars to hype up Raw's night on the draft? No one from Queen of the South or Suits or the like? They had to scratch people from MSNBC and CNBC? Sheesh. Well, anyway, all things being equal, it seems both brands did pretty well, despite Raw getting 50% more picks than SmackDown. When you take that 50% into account, it was actually SmackDown who got more. And that's odd, really, because unless they shut down main event, which they're not as far as I know, Raw needs more fodder. So, I'm going to use my rankings and my brain to pick this draft apart division by division. Start with the men, and thanks to main event, Raw has more active superstars than SmackDown. Seth Rollins being Universal Champ for most of the last 12 weeks helps him top the polls, though the secondary titles are a bit lacking on both brands. Hell, the women are doing better than them. As for those who switched from SmackDown to Raw, Randy Orton is always welcome on the original weekly live show, and getting Kevin Owens was a definite plus. That was just the first day. The second day was all Raw, really. Andrade, Rusev, Rowan, they robbed SmackDown blind. And grabbing cruiserweights Carrillo and Tozawa was a boon for both of them. Not that SmackDown didn't have its decent share of switched players either. And first day, it was all them, grabbing both The Fiend and Braun Strowman. That wasn't too shabby. Now, they lacked on the second day, though. They got The Miz, Drew Gulak, King Corbin. That can't be ignored. Oh, and Cesaro. Can't forget him. He'll be making a comeback, I'm sure. For the men, though, I have to give it to Raw. At least they have a champ who'll actually fight. For the women, SmackDown had the better draft, and not just because there are now more women on SmackDown than Raw. Think about the ladies SmackDown snagged. Sasha Banks, Lacey Evans, Tamina, Dana Brooke, all excellent talent ready to give Bayley what for. Oh, and the trade of Bliss Cross couldn't have hurt either. Now true, Charlotte Flair, the Iconics, and the Kabuki Warriors all jumped to Raw along with Ms. Irrelevant, Liv Morgan, but I have a good feeling that the women's division on SmackDown will be far more competitive now. As for the tag teams, talk about a 180. It used to be that SmackDown's tag division was lacking. Now with the arrival of Ziggler and Rude and the Luchas, and the B team, I guess, the Blue brand is back in the tag business. Raw? Yeah, they made it official with the Street Profits so that they'll finally, work. And they signed the undrafted AOP back to them, although I doubt AOP was happy about not being drafted. But barring that right now, only the Viking Raiders and the OC are truly active teams. Sure, Ryder and Hawkins might still be on Raw, but they haven't done crap since losing the titles. So SmackDown gets the advantage there until the SPs and AOP actually show us what they can do. The unsigned, well, teams like the Colognes, the Hardys, the Usos, the Ascension, I can see them being left behind. Most of the others, like Nia Jax, Sheamus, Lars Sullivan, Ember Moon, they're injured, so we'll have to wait for them to get better. And it was high time. Alicia Fox retired. She hasn't fought since April. Enjoy your time off, Alicia. So there you have it. The 2019 WWE Draft may not have been all that exciting, but in the long run, both brands came out just about even with each other. We can only hope this is the beginning of a better WWE for everyone. At least that is until the next superstar shakeup. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling blogger who always tells it like it is. See ya.